Back, everyone. This is Western Muerto Buddha, and today I'm gonna be doing a little different video. I was watching Antonio Speaks on his channel, and he was promoting black creatives or creators, showing their businesses, their comics, and jobs as well. And I was like, you know, as much as I want to talk about how bad the American Latino communities are, uh, I do also want people to not just feel like guilty and be ashamed of themselves trying to assimilate, but at the very least show them hey, this is your heritage. And throughout the video, I'm gonna be calling my community Native Latinos because we are Native Americans, but I feel like everybody still wants to hold on to the Latino, so I'm gonna be saying Native Latino. So just don't be like, what the hell are you talking about? But anyways, Native art. And this is what I mean by showing people their heritage. I was at a small coffee shop by somebody that I know, and they were making the indoor decorations of their coffee shop, and they wanted it to all be white because you know they they kind of like how Starbucks is for the whole coffee culture, very fancy, and they're Mexican, but they didn't want to have vibrant colors like right here, like none of this skull stuff or the girl right here, like none of that shit. And I just thought to myself, people want vibrant colors. Like I've been hearing a lot of YouTubers talking about how McDonald's is just a block. It's just like a black block in your town. Same thing with Starbucks. Same thing with the Taco Bell. And even Panda Express is very similar. They're just black blocks with their logos on there, and that's it. They don't even have their uh, playground anymore like they used to have, all colorful. All the colors are gone. It's either black, gray, or some really light brown to gray. Maybe even some white. But that's it. And then when you enter, you're not even interacting with anybody. You just enter and it's just like a big ass fucking iPad in the middle of the restaurant. And so this person that I was talking to about their coffee shop, they didn't want none of this vibrant colors like a stereotypical Mexican restaurant would have. And it got me thinking no, a lot of people want that. You should have little piñata toys hanging from the roof. You should have the walls painted in certain flowers and so on and so forth. People want to see colors. But like you said, it's one of those hating your heritage, which is very sad. And that's kind of what I want this video to be about, showing you that, hey, you come from a cultural background that is very beautiful and it's very unique. So I want people to be proud of it and to learn more of it. Same thing with the whole Chicano lowriders. Again, same thing with Antonio Speaks. It was a video talking about Elon Musk. I fucking hate the guy too. But in the middle of the video, he was talking about 2 Chainz, how he has a Tesla and he fucking loves his Tesla. And Antonio says in his video, "Oh man, how come none of these fucking rappers get together and start their own like car company to promote for their for the black community?" And I just thought to myself, like, bro, this is literally Chicano shit, bro. I'm telling you, man. Look at Chicano. Like, the whole reason why we created lowriders was because we didn't want to participate in the capitalistic society that we were forced to live under. That's why the the cars go as almost low as possible. Why they fucking jump up and down, because they don't want to have the same cars as the white people did. And it's such a sad sight because now more than ever the Chicano community is no longer what it used to be. It was it was no longer the rebellious, citizen that hated the government. It's now more of an aesthetic just to get girls. And that's so disappointing because this used to mean so much. And I hope we get to bring that shit back. And I want to bring it back because, bro, this is literally the roots to basically all the culture and all the references that we have to this day. And I have a feeling that it may actually come back. Another thing was, I feel like, so I was learning about Selena, the singer, and she died fairly young, if you don't know. I believe it was like 21, 22. And as I was learning more about her, I just realized, like, man, dude, like, she was such a, like, icon. Like, if she was alive to this day, she would have been like, one of the biggest, like, haters for Trump. Like, she would have been like, fuck Trump, fuck that guy. We should allow Latinos to come in, native Latinos to come in. And it's such a tragedy that she's no longer with us. But at the same time, I wonder to myself, do we have any other person that can not necessarily like fill in that role of being an icon like her, but at the very least be somebody that we can look up to? Because it's true, I don't think my people, native Latinos, have somebody to look up to. And so I started looking up with these guys, top 18, I think. Leo Gonzalez. This is the guy. With over 3 million followers on TikTok, Leo is known for his hilarious skits that poke fun at real life scenarios, from fast food workers to news reporters. He masterfully found a way to find humor in any occupation. Check out one of his most viral clips poking fun at a cashier putting your massive taco truck order on blast. Probably gonna watch that video later. Nicole Guerrero. Yeah, very pretty girl. A veteran in social media world who has been releasing content for over a decade. Nicole has cemented herself as a true female inspiration, and it's just like, girl stuff, taking care of yourself. Do you know another guy? Okay, I don't want to sound fucked up or anything like that, but man, dude, we gotta really lock in on this whole like being fat, bro. Like, I feel like so many native Latinos nowadays, they lose themselves so much. I mean, the dude is at a fucking gym and he's the only big guy. Like, come on, man. Like, at least try. All right, at least try. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Duno has become a West Coast media force. He hosts two major podcasts, Shame on You and Brown Bag Pod. He amassed a major social media following from his humorous videos that reflect Mexican culture. See, I'll probably be watching some of his podcast videos. Lenti Martinez, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce their name, so forgive me if I said them wrong. But yeah, look, a pretty girl. When God winks at you. Anyways, Los Angeles native Lenti has made herself a force to be reckoned with in the social media space as a co-host of Brown Bag Pod. She discusses hip hop, Latin music, and all things LA. She's proven herself to be a true hip hop historian and has landed some of the most significant interviews in recent times. See, this is what I mean by the whole Chicano and hip hop. Like as much as okay, look, I'm not trying to take away black people is hard work for the whole hip hop, but just like how Antonio Speaks said, give what credit is due. And the reality is, hip hop is the little brother to Chicano culture. This whole, oh, uh, hip hop is the voice of the oppressed, brother. That was literally Chicano culture, bro. The older brother that was rebellious, that wasn't afraid to fight back. But it's just sad that we've lost that in us. Sasha Mercy, representing her Dominican Republic, also a very pretty girl. Heritage boldly and proudly, Sasha is a comedian who performs stand-ups and video skits that poke fun at dating, finances, and everything in between. Realizing the lack of Dominican representation in comedy, she launched her own Dominican comedy series called Morisando. Maciaris. Another pretty girl. Using fitness to help overcome some of her mental health battles, Maci turned her story into triumph by becoming a massive fitness influencer. She posts intense workout videos and tips on nutrition and motherhood. That's also another thing that I wanted to talk about was the whole motherhood. Like, I remember as I was learning about Selena, she also wanted to be a mother, but she died fairly young. And now I feel like a lot of native Latinas, they kind of have lost the ability to be moms now. You know, because of how just how poor we are, and culturally we don't get to spend time with family as we used to anymore. And not only that, but a lot of people at a young age, we experience so much like negativity and toxic people that that you just end up having a kid with like the wrong person. And because you don't like that person, you don't really care about the kid. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we need to bring back that whole like motherhood. Like we need to have somebody that can represent motherhood. Like, oh look, she loves her kid. She chose somebody that she wanted to be with. Daisy Perkins. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name, but like I said, sorry about that. Very nice makeup, very, very pretty. Mo- mo- um, Mother, model, entrepreneur, and more. Daisy has been is wait what? Daisy has been a true. They misspelled this. A true inspiration. Her openness and vulnerability is discussing her fertility issues. Really resonated with her followers, and her onte onte. God damn it, ontechnicity. Cannot pronounce this fucking word.
Authenticity.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Authenticity.
Authenticity. I can. You get the point. Has helped cement her as a true icon in the influencer space. Cannot believe I cannot pronounce that fucking word. Lee Juan James. Le Juan James. It almost sounds like Asian. His name. Dating back in the Vine days, Li Juan has been going viral for years now. His skits poke fun at the all too relatable parts of growing up with Latin parents and reflect on Latin culture overall. Uh, Yawn Next Door. Despite having called herself not a comedian, she's just as funny as one. Yawn Next Door, aka Shide, posts hilarious and relatable humor jokes, dark humor clips about men, her cat, Target, and anything else she can poke fun of. I have no idea who this is. Oh, I'm guessing that's her. Pretty girl.
And texted that man that she missed him. Sage, why would you send him that? You always starting stuff.
Okay. And Sylvia and Ashley NL. Justin Sylvia and his partner Ashley NL amassed a major social media following, over 5 million on TikTok and 1.3 million on Instagram. From Justin posting funny clips inspired by their relationships and family, Justin is also a stand-up comedian. Very, very beautiful couple. Natalie's a pretty girl. Natalie's Natalie's posts range from outfit videos to skits, but her mini vlogs of her thrifting early 2000s style outfits take the cake. She has keen eye for putting together stylish outfits that will make you reminisce on early Britney Spears music videos while adding her own unique flair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people liked Britney Spears back in the day, especially the Latin community. Not sure. Sally Rose, a true veteran in the content creation space. Sally's has a massive fan base of over 20 million followers on Instagram alone. Her hilarious personality, bold style, and creative have led her to being one of the largest Latin content creators on the scene. She's leveraged her audience and displayed her talent in music and through her podcast as well. Chris Castinos, an extreme talented writer and creator. Chris posts consist of funny videos about his journey to publication as an aspiring comic writer. He pokes fun at the small quirks and challenges that comic writers face while creating their bodies of work. I'm also gonna be showing my novel towards the end of this video. Karen Mendoza, pretty girl. For years, Karen has posted funny videos about her life as a girlfriend and now wife. Whether she's dancing, making fun of herself, or lovingly annoying her man, she is one of the funniest content creators on the internet. Monica Valus. Monica Valus. Another pretty girl with supreme confidence and infatuating aura. Monica has been on a mission to show that Afro Latina influencers have immense talent. She boldly discusses her life as a black and Dominican woman while also giving lifestyle, fashion, and beauty inspo to her followers. Alondra Daisy. Oh, wow, very pretty. I don't know if anybody else has been told this, but I remember a lot of people thinking that the name Alondra was an ugly name. Like for me, I never really cared about that much about names until recently. But I just remember a lot of people being like, Alondra is not that pretty of a name. And I was just like, really? It's Spanish, and I remember hearing that like it was like a nickname for like Alejandra, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know, I'm not saying it's an ugly name. Like I said, it's just a fucking name. I'm just saying, like I remember like the toxic people around me is what I'm trying to say. But like I said, pretty girl. Alondra has amassed over 2 million followers on Instagram alone as a model and a makeup influencer. She's also garnered 1.8 million on TikTok. She uses following to create a very successful lash brand, the Lash Brow. Okay, you get the point. Dulce Candy, another pretty girl. An entrepreneur, author, and yoga teacher, Dulce is truly a talented creator. She uses her platform to help inspire women in all aspects of life, whether on her podcast, through her blog posts. She promotes internet healing and helps women on their journey to happiness. Yeah, like I was looking up into native Latinas, and it's been a thing that a lot of girls within our community have experienced self-harm, like self-harm thoughts. And a lot, it doesn't really seem to me that when I look into it, like it doesn't really seem to me that it's an issue about like all the roles, in our culture. Like the women do this, the guys do this. Like I feel like the issue is a lot deeper than just that, and it's very sad to hear that a lot of girls feel that way within our own community. And so that's why one of the reasons why I want to like promote these type of people on my videos, to show that, hey, at least you have look into this person, see if you like them, you know. uh chicklet chicklet for years, and his wife Melina have made the internet, namely for their 1.8 TikTok followers and 3.8 million Instagram followers, laugh hysterically with an extreme amount of vulnerability. He sarcastically teases his wife and finds humor in relatable relationships arguments.
Take my stuff if you ever try to divorce me.
Take your stuff?
Yes.
Take what, Steven? Take what? Look around. Take what?
My Rolex?
Your
My chain?
Rolex and your
Yeah,
chain?
what are you trying to take that from me?
Take that fake shit. I'm not taking your fake ass Rolex and your fake ass chain, bro. I don't want that. No, thank you. I don't want that. No need to sign. Next. Come on.
Okay. And finally, Lucas Lopez. Let's just play the video, see what's up.
Steven, very nice to see you. Very nice. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
in.
you very
Mr.
much. No, because I finish work at 5 p.m., but I'm here at 2:30 because this guy, he always do this to me. Always like to see me lose money. You like it, right? Eh? You like it? Okay. Tell me what he do this time, please.
Disrupting the class nonstop.
Disrupting the class. Okay. Listen, Mr. Steven, I don't even know what is disrupting mean. But when you getting home, I'm going to disrupting your ass. Okay? Let's see how he like that one. Okay. Let me know how long this time.
Mandatory, we send them
Oh,
home.
you're going to send him home for the day. No problem. I'm going to send him forever. Thank you so much for the meeting, my friend. I have to go now.
Thank you.
Dale pa'l carro.
Lucas is hands down one of the funniest creators on any platform, and his 3.2 million followers on TikTok prove it. In his skits, he pokes fun at everything from his Latin parents to his friends, and he'll have you on a rabbit hole of hilarious videos anytime you click on his profile. Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of beauty, styling, and jokes, I think we have it all. It's just I just hope we can evolve from that, like it's from the stereotypical, especially the jokes, where the jokes is just like the chanclas, getting in trouble, or like I said, the very stereotypical stuff that everybody knows. Moving on, animation. We have a lot of movies that you can watch. Book of Life, directed by a Mexican animator, George R. Gutierrez, and produced by Guillermo del Toro. This visually stunning, vibrant 3D film is a beautiful love letter to Mexican folk art and the tradition of Dia de los Muertos. Honestly, it is a very good movie. Boy in the World. O Mino y o Mundo? Okay, it's Brazilian. Okay. Directed by Brazilian filmer I cannot pronounce that name. This masterpiece uses a unique mix of canyons, watercolors, and college. Wait, what? College? It was nominated for Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. Well, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Hell yeah, I love these movies. Co-directed and heavily animated by U.S. Latinos and Latin Americans, putting Afro-Latino hero Miles Morales from front and center while beautifully embedding his Puerto Rican heritage into the story. Hell yeah. Metagol. Underdogs, directed by Academy Award-winning Argentinian director Juan Jose Campania. It is a high-quality 3D printer and animated sports comedy that became one of the most expensive and successful animated productions in Argentina history. And then Nawa and the Magic Book, directed by German Orkin and co-produced between Chile and Brazil. This beautiful 2D animated fantasy film explores Cholo mythology and follows a young boy overcoming his fear of the sea. Like I said, I only seen 3 of the out of this entire list. There's obviously more, I think, but you get the point. Like, there is stuff out there that you can see for your first hand with your eyeballs and be like, oh wow, this shit looks really cool. Oh yeah, I was looking into YouTubers. God. Okay. Before I start, yes, this YouTuber, his name, his YouTube channel is this word, and I'm probably going to leave a bad comment later on. Oh, it's right here. Oh, Jesus, man. Compra mis productos en los. Okay, you get the point. Yeah, this is the fucking guy. We can hate on him, guys. We can hate on him. Next YouTuber, Morimoto Studio. I believe they're also another animated YouTube channel as well. I honestly do not know. I wish I could tell you guys. Jenny Lorenzo. I believe she does skits. So yeah, just skits. Darko Company Studio. Oh yeah, man. This is probably one of the first Spanish channels that I saw when I was younger. And I think I don't know. I've heard like the older videos now. I mean, the newer videos now aren't as funny as like the previous ones. Even though he's getting like pretty good views, so I don't really know. But I remember watching the Legend of Zelda, the older one. That shit was fucking funny, as well as the Pokemon one. That shit was hilarious, man. I loved it. I just wish my Spanish was pretty good so I can understand the jokes. But like I said, I understood the older ones. We're going to some comics now. El Paso Hero. This is the comic book. Kind of wish he had like a costume, but you know, can't. Beggars can't be choosers, you know. This comic is heavily influenced by modern day challenges people from both sides of the border face. The main story is centered on El Paso Hero, a rogue hero who is standing up against Mexico's cartels and corrupt officials. The results are often destructive and deadly. Holy shit. Another one, Love Rockets. Love Rockets is a long running comic book series by Hernandez brothers Gilbert and Jaime and Mario. The series is published by Fantagraphics. It was one of the first comic books in a alternative comic movement of the 1980s. The Hernandez brothers produced stories in the series independent of each other. I'm not really sure what this comic is about, but here it is. Hold on, let's see. El Ernot, basically an astronaut. It's a series that was a comic book, but they also have a Netflix on it too, so you can watch it on Netflix. It's the same name, I believe. Seen it? It's pretty good. La Broignac. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but anyways, it is an award-winning graphic novel and comic series created and written by Edgardo Morena Rodriguez. The story follows Marcel Rios de la Luz, an Afro-Latina Colombian university student who gains superhuman abilities linked to Taino mythology to protect Puerto Rico from real-world environmental and climate crisis. Damn, that's awesome. And this is her. Pretty cool. Protagonist, that's her, the powers. While exploring Puerto Rican cave system, Marcel finds mystical crystals that connect her to Atabex, the Taino mother goddess Atambex and her sons grant her superhuman strength, flight, and ability to control storms. Oh, wow. Instead of traditional supervillains battles, Marcel faces down environmental pollution, climate change, and systematic issues. Oh wow, she's kind of wish she would fight some villains though. El Muerto by Javier Hernandez. Okay, this is one that I was like, holy shit, dude, this reminds me of The Crow. It looks pretty cool. There's even a movie. Uh, and I asked the question. Wait, let me go back. Here it is. Is an American artist, comic book creator, and a radio host from Whiter, California. Perhaps best known for creating the popular series El Muerto, the Aztec Zombie. The majority of his works are published through his privately owned imprint, Los Comics. And this is what I said, like, oh, I thought it was inspired by The Crow, but while both Crow and El Muerto are independent comic books featuring undead protagonists who return for just revenge or justice, creator Javier explicitly cites the Day of the Dead folklore and Aztec mythology as a primary inspiration rather than The Crow. Which I'm like, bro, just admit it. It was inspired by the fucking Crow. I looked it up even some more. The Crow was in 1989, and his shit was 1998. Come on now. But anyways, another comic. Raphael Albuquerque is an alchemid, alchemid, alchemine. I cannot pronounce this word. Acclaimed Brazilian comic book artist, best known as the co-creator and lead illustrator of the hit comic series American Vampire, published by DC Comics. He won prestige. Oh my god, I always could pronounce it. Prestigious. There you go. Eisner and Harvey Awards for his work on the series. So yeah, I don't know about American Vampire, but you get the point. And then this is another YouTuber, Jaden Animation, a channel of animation, and the channel is known for its storytime animation that covers a range of topics, including personal experience and video game stories. In 2024, Tlahcuilo announced an autism and ADHD diagnosed Jaden Animation merchandise is available at, you get the point. Yeah, but she's also, I believe, like native Latina. So, yeah. Luis de la Rosa, another animator. That's the guy. You get the point. And then there is me. So, I've been making my own novel. It is called Teotali. It's an Aztec word for sacred land. This novel is this is like my notes so far. So before I wasn't really into the cowboy genre. Like, don't get me wrong, like it looks cool, but it was never like captivating. And I think a lot of people feel the exact same way. Because they don't really seem to understand what it really all meant. In my personal opinion. Even though there's like a huge folklore around that era, nobody really seems to, dive deep into like the meaning. Like all it is like, oh, you're in like these lands and there's no law enforcement, there's no government rule, it's just you and the land, and anybody could come at you just to kill you, you know. And when you hear that, it sounds cool, but at the same time, you almost think to yourself, like, who the fuck does that? Like, the average human doesn't even think like that, right? Well, if you actually look into the Wild West, it's a lot more disturbing than what we're shown on modern like movies or most cowboy movies. And yeah, this is like my main character, Omero Calixto, and the different arrows that I was planning on having in my story. And so far, I've started and I really like it. You know, I've started to actually enjoy the whole idea of like cowboys, which is really cool to me now. Oh, this is the word. Yeah, sacred. Is he sacred land or flatland? It's gonna mostly be taking place in like the plains, probably the Great Basins as well. And I'm also taking huge inspiration for Latino art or Native American art as well. Primarily like skeletons. So going back right here, the Qing Dynasty in China, in Korea, even like in the Middle East. Uh, so I'm gonna be having different types of ethnicities, obviously. But first I'm gonna be talking about like the whole skeleton. So the Mexicans and the Native Americans in my story will have this like kind of like uh almost like a transformation. It's not like it's gonna be like crazy power up or anything like that, but it's just a little like think of it more of like a form that they transform into for like battle, and they'll get like really skinny to the point where like their cheeks get sunken, their eyeballs get a little bit sunken too. They look really skinny to the point they look like skeletons, but they'll have like different types of like markings on their bodies. Same thing with like Asians in my story. They'll have like more of like the kitsune, the fox spirit, and I'll also look into like what other like humanoid creature that's like almost like fairy like, or at the very least something similar to like the skeletons in like Latin culture are across the world. Even for the U.S., the white people, the Anglo white people in my story. I forgot the name that I gave them, but they're basically Norse elves. And if you look into them, they don't actually look like elves. They look like normal humans. They don't even have like pointy ears. But in my research of looking into them, uh, they were described as shining people with like blonde hair, colorful eyes. But they also represented destruction and bringing of nightmare. And I thought to myself, oh wow, that's a perfect representation of like the whole manifest destiny that happened in North America. And I was also, uh, if anybody ever was curious about like the whole why Mexico has like this like culture of like death, it's right here. In Mexican culture, death is not viewed as a frightening end, but rather as a natural continuation of life, rooted in ancient cycle of existence. It is celebrated with vibrant remembrance rather than somber mourning, famously represented during Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, through joyous traditions. Exactly. It's something that I believe that is pretty beautiful when you really look into it. Like I said, if you bother to look into your heritage, it is, like I said, one of the most beautiful cultures there is. Yeah, this is also another one of my novels, like that's called Destroyed. My notes. My character is called Kaizel. You can read it right here. But basically, he goes to another world, and they get he's a kite. So basically, in like in Japanese anime, Hisekai is like uh, the main character either dies or he just gets transferred into another world without ever going back or something like that. And I really like it because it's kind of be taking inspiration from like Native American like tragedy, but also having that whole idea of like death. And one of the, I guess you can almost ask if you wanted to tell me like what theme I was aiming for. I guess the theme would be that like, why do we want to die? You know, like throughout history, self harm has always been a problem, especially for like a lot of Europeans. And when you look into like the Aztec and Mayan culture, they even have a god that they called the god of hanging, and she is depicted with like a noose around her neck. But in Aztec like culture, that wasn't something to be afraid of. In fact, like I said, we just read it that it was actually normal, and that kind of gives me a thought of like, oh wow, like how we live in such a European-based society where like death is such a concept that we try to run away from. And when you look at the Aztecs and the Mayans, how they viewed death, it wasn't something to be afraid of. And it's just, like I said, it's a very fascinating uh, study to look into, civilization to look into. And I guess another like theme would be that like, so my main character is Native American, and he lives in like our current capitalistic society. And not only is it like just capitalism, but the whole dehumanizing culture that we have. And as he dies and goes to this other world, uh, he gains the ability called Tulpa. And like I said, it's right here, the ability Power Tulpa. This power is based off the user's desire and can be formed wanting to be a hero, creating a weapon, living in a city of their own, even created a humanoid. But if the user is obsessed with their desire, they become primal, like an animal. Only instinct is their desire. And for creating a humanoid Tulpa leads to the Tulpa gaining conscious. Tulpa power is based off the user's experience by the senses and understanding its nature, but their power is other way but their power is also another way to manifest Topa by emotions, understanding it in a emotional level, while manifest Topa powers from wanting a Candyland, a Neverland, or to shadowy powers as well, as long as the user understands it. Like I said, I did not see this, but just know that my notes, these were like really old notes, and I guess one of the other abilities that I was just thinking about with this power, so I was envisioning like a fight with my main character, and as he's like throwing fists, uh, his head starts to hurt because of like the constant like blows, and he's like angry about it, and so he remembers what I was searching up into was that animals, how different types of animals could heal themselves immediately, like sharks can grow back a tooth. And another interesting animal was rams. So everybody has seen how how bulls fight, deers fight each other, goats fight each other by bumping their heads. Same thing with rams. But rams, they have like this defense mechanism in their heads, specifically in their skulls and brains. Their skulls are are hard like bones, but the inside or the underneath the skull is like picture bubble wrap, and it gets filled in with like blood to protect the brain. But it's not just their skulls; it's also the brain. The brain also has like little pockets of like bubble wrap that also fill up with blood. So as they're smashing their heads, their brain is just kind of like bumping inside their head, but there's no damage being done to it. And that's one of the abilities that you could probably that you can gain with this Topa power is understanding how that whole defense mechanism works. And so it will almost be like a theme of like, are you still human with all these powers, the powers of a god, in a sense. But, anyways, that's all I wanted to show you guys. Just want to show you like, yo, we have the talent, we have the skills, we have the craftsmanship to do something other than doing the shitty jobs that nobody wants to do. All right. And be proud of your heritage. Don't be afraid to color up your entire room with colors that represent Aztec, Mayan, Native American stuff. In fact, I highly recommend that you look into all these type of cultures. I might even make another video similar like this, but with like the different type of civilizations. But anyways, it's nighttime. I gotta go sleep. Anyways, good night. Peace.